The question then that I'm on my third wife. I'm just going to admit it right here on the air. And you said you've been married to your girl
62 years.
62
And
years.
Shirley is an amazing woman.
What's the secret? How'd you keep
How
that
did
going?
you do that? How did you get Shirley to begin with?
Now that's a good question.
Well, see, I was in the Navy with her brother, and we were about 3 months away from being discharged. And he said she's coming out with 2 other secretaries, and said, can I line her up with you? Because he trusts me. It was good. And so the other 2, he got one of the other girls, and we got another sailor. And we just had a hell of a good time. I was so broke. She wanted to go to Disneyland, and I said, "Why don't I?" She paid the whole damn ticket. But I remember the first time I ever seen her. Oh, she pulled up in the Long Beach parking lot. She couldn't come on the base. And so she got up. She was sitting in the back seat, 2-car garage doors.
Yeah.
I don't think they make them as much as they used to. And the first thing came out was her butt coming out, and she turned around and had that beautiful face. Shit. And then we started to went to the beach.
Started with the butt.
Yeah. Well, she had to come out. A lot of times you had to come out that way.
You had to wiggle out.
Yeah. So we went to the beach. We went to Disneyland. We went to Knox Berry Farm. And we, when I say we made out, we just kissed, just kindergarten stuff. And so she had to leave, went back, and I wrote the first letter to her in Salt Lake City.
That you'd ever written? Or you were the first one to write a
I
letter?
was the first one to write.
Okay.
Then she wrote back.
Gotcha.
We started to correspond. I have a whole container of love letters.
Wow. That's amazing.
And it was love. It was just, call it physical love. Sometimes that's the first thing you reach into. You see that physical love. And then you reach that, you realize you have an intelligent woman here. And so...
There's a real person behind that beautiful face.
There's a real person behind that face. And so, remember I told you I was standing on the corner waiting? Well,
Yeah.
I got in the car with some buddies, and they drove me to Salt Lake City, and I stayed with her brother and her family, because he had been on leave also. So we all met, and I stayed 3 or 4 days, and I flew home. I was home, and I started to write letters again. We wrote letters. We wrote every day, and I called her on the phone, and I said, "Would you marry me?"
On the phone, you asked her?
On the phone. And so she said, "Yes, I will." So she gave up everything. She sold her car. She lived with a bunch of gals, a rooming bunch of girls, and she got. I gave her a plane ticket. We only met those few times, and she flew out. My mother, dad, and I went and picked her up, and she stayed with my parents. There's 3 bedrooms. Mine was the one end, hers the other end. My mother, dad was in the middle.
Oh, no.
On purpose.
Yeah, that was no accident.
No. And was it October, and then we got engaged Christmas Eve. We're going to go to Mimir and Pipir. That's mother and grandma and grandpa. I'm French.
Okay.
And I gave her the key of the engagement ring in the car and all that stuff, proposed and all that stuff. And we drove to the party. And we showed the engagement ring, and then we went to the priest. We arranged our wedding on during Easter time. During that time period, you couldn't get married during Easter time. You had to wait. So we got the first Saturday after Easter, April the 8th, and we got married.
It's like that. 62 years?
Was it? 1961. How many years is that? 1961. This is 19.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
62 years.
Is it 62?
Yeah.
So coming up, be 63 in April. Her birthday's on the 4th, and we got married on the 8th. So I never get I just have to make sure what card I give her at the time.
So you've been married for 62 years.
Yeah.
What's the biggest, if you were to give our listeners one piece of advice for keeping a relationship going, what would it be?
Oh, gosh. just love and respect and just listening. That doesn't mean we don't go each other, go to hell or something like that once in a while. We get pissed off even today sometimes. But what happens there is that and we separate a little bit, and all of a sudden she'll say, "Let's go shopping." Okay, it's over. It's just doesn't go on and on and on and on and on.
So she doesn't hold a grudge. She's not like keeping score.
No.
And you're not keeping score.
No, if it is a grudge, it burns out like a candle burns out. Just